Hello, everybody. It is your friendly neighborhood writer man here. I'm getting better at that intro, and maybe I'll stick to that one. Anyways, today's video is going to be a part from the book series, which I have decided to put a brief break on so I can fully read, digest, read again, and give, I guess, more insightful commentary on it, or potentially make it more exciting. But today we are going to be looking at why type 4s in the Enneagram system feel left out, or like consistently feel left out. And this came from a thing on Twitter. For those of you who follow me, you'll understand where this topic actually came from. It might be a little late, might be a little early, who knows? Anyways, first things first, this is all speculation. Second thing, I barely know a lot about Enneagram. I know the systems, I know generally how some of the types work. I know like somehow like the variance and all of that, the sexual variance or whatever they're called, the SX, the SO, and the SP. You guys can correct me. This is just how little information I have, and the whole thing typically tends to confuse me. So with that being said, like I said before, this is going to be purely opinion-based, subjective-based, because I, as apparently a type 4, suffer from this issue as well. So, the thing goes something like this, is that type 4s can be typically in a crowd of people, can be in a group of friends, can be in their family, can be wherever, and they will typically feel like they do not belong. Like something is going on around them and they feel like that place isn't for them. And it doesn't come from this whole sense of what people believe type 4s to be, is like, oh, I must be special for the sake of being special. It's like, no, I'm looking for a place of belonging. And there are a few reasons. I think I'll just go over three. I could be wrong. Once again, purely speculation. Nothing more, nothing less. I am definitely not an expert on this system at all whatsoever. If you have your own opinions as to why this is, please do let me know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. So, continuing on, with their desire to be with someone that I would say kind of acknowledges them, or where they can feel at home, or where they feel like they belong, mostly trying to find that place where they belong, that sensation, because it can be with a group of other type 4s, and they could be like, yeah, I don't necessarily fit in here, and those other type 4s are also thinking like, what do I do? Like, and you'll like have chats, and you'll have nice conversations, and you'll have nice group things, and things will be very copacetic and chill and all that, and you guys will be talking, but there's still going to be that lingering feeling, I don't belong here, do I? Now, the number one thing, and this is the biggest thing, is I believe that this derives from self-esteem. Specifically lower self-esteem. This could be due to what I believe is you've either grown up in a setting or grown up in settings, or surroundings where you haven't been acknowledged. You've been told other people are better than you. Other people seem to be having more fun with you, so you've never been like always included, and you've always kind of been like pushed off to the side as a kid. And so growing up later in life, that similar pattern continues to go. And so you're left with that, okay, but where do I really belong? I didn't belong back then. And am I really going to belong now? Especially since other people don't understand this about the type 4s, that we are looking for a place of belonging. So they'll just treat the type 4s as they treat other people, and the INF. I keep wanting to say INFPs because I'm an INFP, but no, we're talking about type 4s, and they're more than just INFPs than in type 4s. So, see, this is how deeply ingrained MBTI is in me, but I digress. So, continuing on with the type 4s, is that because of past experiences, past surroundings where they've been secluded, maybe they haven't. Maybe it's just the fact that they haven't been around. Maybe they were homeschooled. Maybe they were extremely picked on. Maybe they moved a lot, so they didn't make many friends, so they never felt like they belonged. Maybe they just never got that sense of being different was okay. And so, with all these various circumstances, they're like, do I now ever truly belong in the place that I am? So I think this is something that has been more ingrained due to experience going through life than it has been something that they have been born with. It is very much situational based, I feel. I could be wrong. Once again, do not know a whole lot about Enneagram, but I do believe because of this self-esteem issue and self-awareness issue, that they're looking for the thing that they didn't get when they were a kid, when they were growing up, and so they're looking for it from other people, but other people now act very differently, so thus they become more secluded, like their self-esteem doesn't get better, and they continually feel out of place. Like, yes, they could be talking to people, yes, people could love them, yes, they could be like the nicest person you have ever met in your life, yet they still won't feel as if they belong. Mostly due to past experiences. So that's the first thing that I believe is one of the reasons why they feel separate or outcast from other people. The second issue would be more or less their conflict between individuality and the desire for appreciation. So, in one sense, they're like, no, I want to be the person that I am. But on the other sense, you've got this low key, but I also want to be noticed, because everybody low key or high key wants to be noticed to some extent, level, or whatever. And if they do not get that validation that they're looking for, and yes, people everywhere will need some kind of validation, despite what anyone says, there will be moments where validation is extraordinarily important. So, because they haven't received that validation, and because things have happened or where people haven't truly appreciated them or their work so much, they will question whether or not they truly belong there. Now, this isn't as big of a thing, but it can tie into the whole feeling alienated from others. And it's just a thought that I had, is that we want to belong, we want that validation, but our independence at the same time is going, but I want to be separate from everyone, but I also want people to notice me, but I want to be separate from everyone. And it's that constant clash of the two, that wanting to be who they are versus being noticed, or at least having something about them be noticed. Because type 4s, from what I can tell, are a highly, shall I say, individualistic, authentic type of personality. They match real well with INFPs, which is why it can often get confused between the INFP and the type 4, but it could also match with probably ISFPs, ISFJs, heck, I would even say certain INTPs. Some people would say Luna Lovegood. I've never read the series, so can't say, do not attack me. I'm just saying some people will say that Luna Lovegood from the Harry Potter books is an INTP with a type 4 inclination. I don't know. I couldn't care less. But that is was some ideas that people be like, oh, they are getting confused with being INFP when really they're an INTP with a type 4. So, continuing on, is that because of this, because of their individuality, because of them wanting to be authentic, because of them not necessarily wanting to conform, I think type 4s are one of the types in the Enneagram system who really do not want to conform into the system, so to speak. So part of that is what keeps them alienated, and that's actually the third thing I want to look at, is because we do not want to be part of the quote-unquote system, is due to how everybody else can be part of the system. We're like, I want nothing to do with that, thus we unknowingly can put ourselves in a situation where we're like, okay, but I'm not really desired here because the system is against me and who I am as a person, and these people are all part of the system, so therefore do I really belong with these people who are all part of the system? Especially if those people look at the type 4 and mock them, do not properly socialize with them, do not make them feel as if they belong, that feeling of not belonging can grow. Now, there are like a few other things, but once again, because I don't understand the intricacies all that well, I can't explain perhaps in more um, detailed ways. You can leave your thoughts once again down below. But to sum it up, the three things is self-esteem due to things they've gone through the past and through the present. Second thing is the the second thing is the desire to both be an individual. The desire to be authentic and individualistic while also gaining validation. And then the third thing is to not wanting to conform with the system, but also wanting to be like with other people. But so, how do I put this? So the third one would be not wanting to be part of the system, but also wanting to people to accept that they don't want to be part of the system and for them to care about them anyways, if that makes sense. I don't know if anything I just said makes any sense, but these are just my thoughts, and you can let me know what you think. With that being said, I will see you guys next time. Bye bye!